Good evening to all of you. My name is D. Suvasanjeev Kumar. I am working as an assistant professor in Annamacharya University, MCA department. Now today we are discussing to introduction of machine learning. So first of all, machine learning. So in machine learning is a branch of a artificial intelligence. Simply the diagram is artificial intelligence is a one of the main branches of machine learning and deep learning. Suppose the picture of artificial intelligence is a main branch. Machine learning and deep learning is the sub-branches of the artificial intelligence. It is described simply the written as traditional programming versus machine learning. Traditional programming means like as a C, C++, Java, like as a, these all are the traditional programming. And machine learning is the one type of a specialized programming language. It is based on artificial intelligence technology. So nowadays, each and every department, every organization must and should be follows the machine learning. Okay, so it is the one of the main branch of the artificial intelligence. Suppose the diagram is described as a traditional programming versus machine learning is the main instructions, rules, and data. Both are said to be traditional programming. These are the input data, and it displays the processing is the traditional programming, and display the answers output is the finally result. Okay, so alage this is the traditional programming process, but machine learning process is the answers, data, and machine learning process rules. So answers and data is the input of elements, and the process is the machine learning. Finally, it displays the rules, the result. And next, in machine learning, one of the first topic and first of the discussing the human learning and its importance. Human learning is a typically referred to as the process of gaining information through observation. To do a task in a proper way, we need to have clear information on one or more things related to the task. As we are keeping to learn more, or in other words, acquiring more information, the efficiency in doing the task keep improving. Suppose in human learning means humans are learned from different type of devices, persons, and things. Okay. Suppose human learning is one of the best activity is suitable for machine learning. Suppose we can take another one like the example, the ability to do homework with less number of mistakes increases. In the same way, information from fast rocket launcher ships in taking the right precautions and make more successful rocket launch. Suppose in children's mentalities also, in doing homework, some mistakes are every day done. But to find out the mistakes, it is the increases in every day, then automatically to decreases that mistakes. In children's also is follows and automatically improve in education field. Suppose in the types of human learning, types of human learning is the generally three types derived. First one is the learning under expert guidance. Learning guided by knowledge and gain it from experts. Learning by self. So first one you can discuss the learning under expert guidance. So suppose we can take another any concept of learned from different type of sources or places or persons. It is the main because it is taken as the guidance from the different type of persons or different type of places or different type of things. Suppose in a human life, there is an element of guiding learning. This learning is imported by someone purely because of the fact that he or she has already gathered the knowledge. But it is a experience in that field. Suppose we can take now the any example. We can start the one type of a work or one type of a business. Definitely we can have some knowledge. If you have no knowledge, then automatically you can take the guidance from expert persons because the persons are already started that business, started that work. So they are gained some experience or gained some knowledge on that work. So it is the one of the best model of the expert guidance. Next, suppose we can take another example. In school, baby starts with basic familiarization of alphabets and digits. The baby learns how to form words from the alphabets a number from the digits. Slowly, more complex learning happens in the form of sentences. Paragraphs learning, complex mathematics, sciences, and also it's the baby is able to learn all these things from his teacher who already has knowledge on these areas. Suppose in school level babies, some starting of the education, definitely he or she learned numbers, alphabets, or digits. These are the basics from alphabets or digits or numbers in the education field. After they can improve or learn alphabets, numbers, and digits, then we can write easily paragraphs, sentences, and small words also. This is the one of the best example for expert guidance. Next, learning guided by knowledge gained from experts. It is an essential part of learning, also happens with the knowledge which has been imported by teacher or mentor at some point of time in some other form or context. In this method, there is no direct learning method. It is some fast information shared on some different context, which is used to learning to make decisions. Same example, we can take as a baby can group to gather all objects of same color, even if his parents have not specifically taught him to do. So he is able to do so because some point of time or other, his parents have told him where color is blue, which is red, this is green, etc. In this example, we can explain in small ages or small kids to gather different type of objects like pen or ball, bat, book, mobile, bicycle, or baby doll. So any other items are we can take in. Definitely each product on each and toy, definitely having a color. Once parents are explained the thing or the product is a blue color or red color, definitely kids are observed and gained some knowledge on that product. So next time easily identify that product. This is the best example for knowledge gained from experts. In this example, experts means parents or teachers, the persons. And third one is the learning by self. In many situations, humans are learning to their own knowledge. Suppose a class example or a classic example is a baby learning to walk through obstacles. He bumps onto obstacles and falls down multiple times till he learns that whenever there is an obstacle, he needs to cross over it. He faces some challenges, and while learning to ride a cycle as a kid or drive a car as an adult, not all things are taught by others. A lot of things need to be learned only from mistakes made in the past. We tend to form a checklist of things that we should do on things that we should not do based on our experiences. So in this example, definitely some kids or some persons are not taken or not like some suggestions or guidance from other persons. So it's thinking or own decision is learned by self-experience. So that is the some cases, some problems are solved easily. Some problems are not easy to solve. So that time some problems are raised. The problems are raised is the observing, only self-experience. It is the one of the best thing of learned by self. Then next time that work by self, automatically he was observed. Previous experience, previous problems are observed and easily finding the giving the solution that problems. So it's the learning by self. Next, coming to next topic, machine learning. Machine learning is a means a branch of artificial intelligence. Suppose it is defined as a definition means machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence. It is one of the main important point. And computer sciences, which focuses on the use of data and algorithms to imitate the way that humans learn, gradually improving its accuracy. Suppose, according to Tom M. Mitchell, it is a writer of or author of machine learning. He is one of the professor of a department. So School of Computer Science. Okay. According to Mitchell definition, a computer program is said to learn some experience with respect to some class of work task T and performance measure P. If its performance or task in T as measured by P improves with experience C. From the above definition, a machine learning can be considered to learn if it is able to gather experience by doing a certain task and improve its performance in doing the similar task on the future. The past experience means past data related to task. This data is input to the machine from source. So, according to this example, E is the experience, T is the task, P is the measure. If you done any given or any work, if you have some experience, then that solve task easily, and that result is measured. That result is measured by performance P easily. If you have not experience, so you cannot handle any problem or any task without the experience. So EPP or PET is the basic formula based on machine learning definition. And types of machine learning. Generally, machine learning should be the different type of methods are there. Suppose machine learning should not be applied to tasks in which humans are very effective, tasks in which frequent human interventions are needed, and tasks are very simple, which can be implemented using traditional programming. So these are the basic typical problems in machine learning. And how much learn process of machine learning. So generally machine learning architecture or block diagram is explained only three concepts: data input, abstraction, generalization. Data input is the past data. It means previous data or any information is utilized as a basis for future decision making. Abstraction means is the main working process. This is the simply said to be training the model. The input data is represented in a broader way, the underlying algorithm. The third one is the generalization. It is the future decision or to make the decision of a work. Final result is the display. The abstracted representation is generalized to form a framework for making different type of decisions. The architecture or process of machine learning diagram is the input data, abstraction, generalization. So this process is comparing to nearly black diagram of a computer process. So this is the input data. It is the black diagram means abstraction, working process. And generalization is the output process. So in input is we can take any type of data, new numbers, alphabets, digits, symbols, voice data, images data, any taken as the input data simply. This is the previous data. This data is applying simply, then abstraction process is the process or worked based on given instructions. After this process is completed, then this data is said to be generalization. Generalization process is the to display the output for given input data values. So simply said to be input data is processed, after process data is distributed or delivered successfully or not, correctly displayed or not. This is the generalization process. This is a simply processing of machine learning process. Next, types of machine learning process. So generally, types of machine learning is the three types of derived. First one is the supervised learning. Second one is the unsupervised learning. Third one is the reinforcement learning. Supervised learning means is the predictive learning method. A machine predicts the class of unknown objects based on prior class related information of similar objects. Okay. Predictive learning. Predictive learning means previous data is based, the result is processed and display the final result through based on similar objects. And unsupervised learning. It is a descriptive modeling, descriptive learning model. So in this method, is a machine finds a pattern is unknown objects by grouping similar objects together. Reinforcement learning. A machine learning to act on its own to achieve given goals. So simply said to be supervised learning means the trained data or labeled data. Unsupervised learning means unlabeled data, untrained data. Okay. Reinforcement learning process means it is a multiple attempts for unknown data and display the final result. This is the three types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning. So this diagram is simply said to be this is the process. Machine learning is the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So supervised learning is the againly dividing two types: classification model and regression model. Unsupervised learning is also dividing the two models: clustering model, association analysis model. Suppose we can discuss the supervised learning model. So in this model, must and should be verify the diagram. So already I told you, supervised learning means labeled or training data. This is the input data. Supervised learning, it is the working process based on given data instructions. And prediction model, this is the output data model. Given set of instructions is the process. After display the prediction model to display the final result is the test data. So this is the entire diagram of super learning or supervised learning model. Past information is the experience, is the main important point. And in this process, some of the examples are taken. Suppose predicted the results of a game, predicted whether a tumor is malignant or benign, predicting the price of domains like real estates, stocks, exchanges, and so on. Classifying text, such as classifying set of email, spam, and non-spam, is also similar examples of supervised learning. And types of supervised learning is also dividing two types. First one is the classification model. Second one is the regression model. Classification model is a type of supervised learning. It is a target of a future. This is type of categorical and predicted for test data based on the information imported by training data. Target categorical feature is known as a class. Suppose some of the examples is taken: images classification, prediction of diseases, wind loss prediction of games, prediction of natural climates or calamity like earthquake, floods, the top. Last one is the recognition the handwriting. These all are of the observation. Suppose we can take another any image in JPEG format. Suppose the image is observed color, brightness, contrast, image height and width, pixels. So these all are the observation points of the images. Alright. Prediction of diseases. Prediction of diseases means symptoms of the diseases. Okay. Suppose we can take another example of Corona-19, COVID-19. So in this COVID-19, we can definitely observe the patients. Definitely we can find the symptoms of the patients like cough and something. So that's all. Okay. And win loss prediction of games. Suppose a game was conducted. Definitely 2 persons or 3 persons, any number of persons are participated, but only 1 person is the win, remaining are loss. Okay. This is the basic principle of the supervised learning process. Next, regression. So this is also diagram is represented as a label training data, classification model data, test data. So label training data is the input data. Classifier is the classification. Okay? It is based on taken as input data and classification. Suppose a game was conducted. First round winner, second round winner, and third round winner. Finally, round winner or loser. So that is the classification of the result based on given input data. And this is the test data, the final result of the fact. Next, these algorithms are supported: naive Bayes algorithm, decision tree algorithm, K nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay. Next, regression topic. Regression is the process of predicting a continuous values. We can use regression model to predict a continuous value, such as CO2 emission from a car model. This is the one of the best practical example for regression model. It means CO2 is one of the emission for a car model. That's all. And types of regressions. In types of regressions are dividing mainly three types: simple linear regression and linear regression model and basically logistic regression model. Second one is the unsupervised learning model. So unsupervised learning model is again dividing two types: clustering model, association, and model. So unsupervised learning model means to accepting the unlabeled data, untrained data. This data is taken and processed. After display, the result is dividing two types: clustering and association analysis. Clustering means similar type of symptoms, similar type of objects based on given input data. Suppose the diagram is observed. Unlabeled data is the input data. Unsupervised learning model is the architecture process or working process. Finally, data patterns is the classification or recursion the data. Suppose we can observe the data, unlabeled data, square boxes, triangles, oval shapes, circles is the given input data. And processed, this is the learning model. After display, the result is rectangular boxes separate, square, circle separate, triangle separate, oval shape separate. This is the data pattern process. Next, suppose observing the clustering process. Clustering the main type of a unsupervised learning model. It intends to group or organize similar objects together. For that reason, objects belonging to same cluster are quite similar to each other, while objects belonging to different cluster are quite distinguished. So this process is simply diagram. Suppose this diagram is observed distance-based clustering. Distance-based clustering. Suppose in first diagram, we can observe different type of data mixed, and each one is separated by group of objects. Suppose this one is a circles, this is a oval shapes, this is a triangles, this is the square boxes. Okay, these are the mixed data. But after the process is dividing, each one is some cluster. Suppose this is a cluster 2, this is a cluster 1, this is a cluster 3, this is the cluster 4. These are the clusters of the data. Finally, this association analysis means, as part of the association analysis, the analysis or association between the elements is identified. This process is observed completely from past transaction data is a grocery store. It may be observed that most of the customers who have bought it, they have also bought item B and item C, or at least one of them. It means the B is a main component of the element in A, and C is the another purchasing of product in a group of items A. It is identifying the source of association, the goal of association analysis. Finally, it helps the boosting of sales pipelines, hence a critical of the fast sales flow. And next one is a reinforcement learning. Generally, machine learning is the supervised learning and unsupervised learning in the main process. After reinforcement learning is it is useful for multiple attempts for based on labeled data or unlabeled data. After process, then we can definitely succeed the given data processing reinforcement model. It is simply said to be combination of or combining of supervised learning model and unsupervised learning model. This diagram is also simply observed is the input raw data. This is the working process of environment and area gate process. It is the output display process. Suppose input data observed, we can take now the mixed data or group of data like oval shapes, triangle shapes, circles, other mixed data. This data is taken after processing environment and agents. It is the working process of reinforcement learning. After display, the result is process some different type of clusters. Squares data separate, circle data, triangles data, oval data. This is the final output of the based on given input data. So next, differences between supervised and unsupervised reinforcement learning. Suppose parameters, supervised and unsupervised reinforcement is observed, definitely then it is used. Type of work to be performed, model building, model performance, types, complexity, standard algorithms, all are the basic information of the supervised and unsupervised reinforcement learning. Okay, so this is the main important process of the supervised and unsupervised reinforcement learning processes. Thank you for this opportunity.